It is time, Dr. Fiona.
Agreed. All of the calculations have been made, and it seems we have the solution to the problem.
I've made all the adjustments, Dr. Ivy. The device is ready.
Excellent work, Dr. Flora. Soon, we will be the most famous scientist since Edison.
Since Newton.
Since Einstein.
Prepare the first target.
One housefly. Check.
Prepare the second target.
Where's the pig?
I thought you had it.
Why would I have a pig?
Why would any of us? We're not farmers.
How will our combination of transfiguration teleportation device work without two targets?
I will be the second target.
You want to be teleported?
Transfigured?
And combined. Remember our mad scientist creed, my fellow doctors. For science!
For science!
Very well. I shall aim the beams.
I shall woman the switch.
And I shall prepare for science.
Beam set.
I am ready. Throw the switch.
For science!
Did it work?
No, I think we lost power in the lab.
Everything is dead. Nothing is on.
Check the portable radio device we got from Jacob's lab. Is it all right?
It looks okay. I'd better test it.
Hey kids, if you're like me, you like to color while listening to the Kids Corner. Check out Flynn's coloring contest at fln.org/kids.
How about now, Ivy?
I think that was it, Miss Fiona. The clock on your stove is blinking and the lights are all on again.
Splendid. Let me close up the electric box and we should be good.
Do you still need me holding the flashlight, Miss Fiona?
That's all right, Flora. We can just use the light switch here.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Shall we?
Yeah, it's creepy down here.
So, what happened?
It would seem that plugging in this new mini radio that Lionel gave me caused an overload of electricity, and the safety breaker switched off to stop the power from getting out of control.
Okay, so what happened?
Basically, there was too much power coming through the wires, so the safety device in the basement stopped the power so it wouldn't hurt anyone.
That's what I thought you said.
Of course.
So is it fixed now?
Oh yes, it was just a matter of switching the power back on. I will have to talk to Lionel about this radio charging cable. It probably shouldn't be flipping breakers whenever you plug it in.
Yeah, I can't think of anything more useless than a thing that stops all the power in a house.
It is a bit of a flaw, I must say. Thankfully, it looks like the mini radio seems to have a bit more battery left. Shall we listen for a bit?
Yeah, I'll start it up.
God uses people of all ages to do His work. Here's some more pint-sized encouragement from Family Life.
Did you know that Joseph was only 17 years old when his brothers sold him into slavery? And yet, the Bible says that Joseph still pleased God, even when his home, family, and freedom were taken away from him. Do you still try to obey God, even when things don't go your way? Remember the account of Joseph, and that obedience can turn into blessings.
Looking at ways God uses His children. Keep listening for more pint-sized encouragement from Family Life.
Well, I just got off the phone with Mr. Jacobs, and he says that he'll take a look at the mini radio after we drain its battery.
Well, I guess we're going to have to listen to more programs then.
That's kind of all we do on Saturday mornings, Ivy.
We do more stuff than just listen to the radio, Flora. There's always something going on in the neighborhood. I mean, just this morning, for instance, we knocked out the power in Miss Fiona's house. That was exciting, right, Miss Fiona?
Oh yes, quite.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, we didn't break anything else, did we?
Oh, everything is fine. I was just thinking about a conversation I had recently with a friend.
About your electric?
No, it was actually about sharing God's forgiveness with someone that had hurt her very much.
This sounds like a juicy story.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm afraid I can't share that, but I had pointed out to this friend that she needed to show love and forgiveness, because God has loved and forgiven her.
I guess. I mean, that's a nice thing to do. But is it really that important?
What do you mean, Flora?
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. God takes sharing his gifts very seriously, especially forgiveness. One might even say that's why he gives them to us.
Okay, but what does this have to do with the electricity going out?
It's like you said earlier. What good is something that stops all the power in a house? I think the same can be said about a person who doesn't share God's love.
I'm still not understanding.
Well, maybe I can get Lionel to email me one of his scripts that might be able to explain a little better.
And in the meantime, we can listen to the radio.
That would be fun.
And now, from the garage of Lionel Jacobs comes the chilling drama, The Ice Cream Hoarder, an adapted biblical teaching about sharing. Once upon a time, in the fair city of Tinkerton, there was an ice cream factory.
That's right, Frosty's Frozen Fun Times. We are well known for our creamy, smooth, sweetly flavored ice cream.
On the weekend of our story, the owner of Frosty's Frozen Fun Times had an announcement to make.
My good employees, this weekend marks the 100th anniversary of Frosty's Frozen Fun Times founding. Feel free to take as much ice cream with you tonight as a gift from me to you. Be sure everyone you know gets at least a gallon, if not 2, of our fantastic flavors. I want all of Tinkerton to know how much we appreciate them.
And so all the employees cheered and went about gathering as much ice cream as their cars could carry.
I love this stuff. I can't wait to get it home. It's a lifetime supply.
But when this particular employee headed home, she put all of the ice cream she could pack into her car.
I even filled the glove compartment. I wonder if there's a way to get it into the fuel tank.
Of course, she decided that might not be a good idea, creative as it was.
Gotta think outside the box, you know.
She then headed out. As she went on her way, she came upon a group of kids standing out in the sun, looking very warm indeed.
You know what would really go great right now? Some ice cream.
But the employee ignored them.
It's not like they deserve any ice cream. Just look at them, standing around instead of doing their homework.
But it's summer. We don't have homework.
Then go mow the lawn. Sheesh. Kids these days, always expecting a handout.
She continued on her way when she saw some construction workers.
Man, you know what would go great right now? A big old tub of ice cream, am I right?
But she ignored them.
I would hate to interrupt their hard work. They look like they can afford to buy their own ice cream anyway.
This went on all the way home. She would come upon someone who looked like they would enjoy some of the ice cream she had with her. But she always had some reason why she didn't have to share.
They might be lactose intolerant. I don't know if I have their favorite flavor. Do they really need ice cream? I mean, it's certainly not going to help them to get any thinner.
When she finally got home, she joyfully emptied out her freezer.
Make way, frozen peas. I've got ice cream.
But when she ran out to her car, a wet, drippy, sticky sight greeted her.
Oh, gross.
All of the ice cream that she had saved for herself had melted and gotten everywhere. Because she had stored so much of it, there was not an inch of her car that hadn't been ruined by this mess.
What's more is that I won't be able to eat any of it.
The moral is, God gives us amazing gifts all the time. These can be talents, wealth, or even greater things like His love and forgiveness. The thing is, He gives these things to us so that we can use them to bless others. If we don't share these things, not only will we not be doing what God wants, but we won't be able to enjoy them ourselves.
Hey kids, don't forget to check out the fun games at fla.org/kids.
I see the two of you are very thoughtful right now. Still thinking about the ice cream drama we acted out earlier?
Yeah, kind of. Something about it didn't make sense, though.
Oh dear, what was that, Flora?
Well, the moral said that if we don't share God's forgiveness, then we won't be able to enjoy it ourselves. But I don't see why. If I don't forgive a friend for something they've done, it doesn't mean that God hasn't forgiven me for stuff I've done, does it?
I'm afraid it does. there are many verses that say this is how it works. Luke 6:37, Mark 11:25, and Matthew 18:35 are just some of the places God tells us that if we want to be forgiven for doing wrong things, we also need to forgive others for the things they do against us.
I don't get it. I thought that when we are sorry for doing bad things, being forgiven was a free gift from God and we didn't have to work for it.
You're right, it is. The reason that we do things like forgive and love our neighbors isn't so that we will earn God's gifts, but because He already has done it. He is our example, and like it says in Ephesians 4:32 and Colossians 3:13, we need to follow His example.
Oh, so when people say that we are followers of God, it means that we are following His example and loving others.
I always thought it was because we were following His instructions.
I think you both are right. When we tell God we are sorry for the things we have done, He is always ready to forgive, no matter what. In fact, when Jesus died on the cross, one of the last things He asked God to do was to forgive those who were killing Him.
That's intense.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a hard time living up to that example.
Well, that's why God gives us His Spirit and other Christian friends. We all need to work together to help each other live the way God tells us to. And when we let God's Spirit tell us what to do, the impossible act of forgiving people who hate us becomes possible.
Well, let me just say that I'm glad to have friends like you guys to help me out.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad for that as well. You kids help me remember to ask questions about God and go to Him for answers to my problems. And speaking of problems, I should probably take this radio back to Lionel and get the charger fixed.
I can take it over there for you if you want. Mr. Jacobs doesn't live too far from here.
That's all right. He and I were going to go out to lunch anyway.
Oh, okay. Want me to turn it off for you?
That would be lovely.